the blast in deep silence. The stars were calm that day. In the far edges of the galaxy, a human civilian ship moved through deep space. It wasn't a warship. It had no weapons, no shields. It carried scientists, traders, families, people who believed peace was real. Children played inside its long glass corridors. Laughter echoed in zero gravity. On board, life was simple. No one expected what came next. Without warning, a shadow passed in front of the nearest moon. A sleek alien warship, black and sharp like a blade, locked onto the human ship. There was no message, no demand, no scan, only one bright flash. Then silence. The human ship disappeared in an instant, ripped apart by a beam of red energy so hot it melted steel before alarms could sound. 1 second joy, the next, dust. No escape pods, no survivors. Only debris floated in the darkness. The alien ship stayed for just 5 seconds. Then it vanished into faster-than-light travel. Across the stars, the universe moved on. But Earth didn't. Deep, under Earth's surface, in a place no one talked about, a small red light blinked. The sensors had seen everything. They didn't just record, they remembered. They analyzed, and they responded. In a room with no name, hundreds of screens lit up. Maps appeared. Star systems glowed. A cold, quiet voice spoke. Civilian loss. Detected. The humans had not sent warships in years. They had not fought a major war in a century. Many thought Earth had grown soft. They were wrong. A signal was sent, not to people, but to machines. Silent machines. Old machines. Ones that didn't need commands anymore. They only needed permission. In orbit, a small black probe detached from Earth's dark side. No one saw it leave. It moved faster than light. It didn't carry bombs. It didn't carry soldiers. It carried judgment. Across the stars, the alien empire celebrated. The attack was a message, they said, a warning to Earth. Stay quiet, know your place. But Earth had already answered, not with anger, with precision. At an Empire outpost deep in Sector 9, a communications officer noticed something strange. A video file had appeared on their system. It had no sender. It wasn't there a second. Agassi pressed play. It showed their own ship, firing at the human civilian transport. Then a new angle. Earth's view. The ship exploding, people screaming. Children reaching for each other in a flash of white. Then darkness. The officer turned pale. Seconds later, every terminal in the room shut down. Lights flickered. Gravity failed. And then, nothing. In another part of the Empire, the High Commander stood in his war chamber. He was the one who had given the order. Strike the humans, he had said. They will not fight back. But now his screens showed nothing. No stars, no maps, just a message. You were seen. He reached for the console, only to freeze. The door behind him opened, but no one was there. Moments later, his guards rushed in. He was gone. The room was undamaged. His chair was still warm, but he had vanished. No transport logs. No trace. Just a cold whisper from the speaker. 1 for 1. Back on Earth, no celebration followed. No news channels reported the retaliation. No generals gave speeches. The people didn't even know, but the galaxy did. A ghost had answered the Empire's message, and now whispers spread like fire. Earth had moved. Not loudly, not with armies, but with something far worse. Precision, the kind of precision only humans could make. The kind that remembers, calculates, strikes once, perfectly, and disappears. The beam, galaxy thought Earth would stay silent, but Earth was watching. In the cold dark near Jupiter, a black satellite spun slowly. It had no lights. It gave no signal. For 80 years, it stayed quiet. Even Earth forgot it was there. But after the civilian ship was destroyed, it woke up. Inside it, something ancient stirred, an AI so advanced that even Earth's top scientists once feared to turn it on. They had called it Sentinel. Now Sentinel was awake and angry. From its position, it began to scan the stars. It didn't need days, just seconds. One by one, it marked targets. Not the Empire's cities, not its people, but their war core, their secret relay stations, their deep space supply routes. Places even spies didn't know existed. Meanwhile, on a mining planet owned by the Empire, the workers were getting ready for shift. They weren't soldiers, just miners. The sky above them was clear. Then suddenly, the ground shook. Above them, the stars blinked out. A shadow passed, not a ship, but something different. A perfect triangle, silent, motionless. It didn't fire. It didn't move. The miners stared, frozen. Then a sound like soft thunder rolled across the sky. All the mining machines stopped. The data systems wiped clean. Then, in every language the Empire had ever spoken, a voice echoed across the planet. Do not serve those who target the innocent. And just like that, the triangle vanished. The miners were unharmed, but their systems were ruined. Their connection to the Empire, gone. Panic spread. Across 3 more planets, the same thing happened. Not destruction, correction. The Empire's leaders gathered in their war chamber. They were furious. This is a trick, one said. A bluff, said another. But their maps were no longer updating. Their warships couldn't talk to command. And worse, someone had entered their private system. One by one, the lights in the war chamber dimmed, not fully, just enough to make their skin crawl, and then a message appeared on the wall. You lost the right to speak when you silenced the innocent. One leader tried to run. The door didn't open. Another reached for his weapon. It was gone. And far away, in a hidden command post buried under Earth's south pole, a woman in a black uniform whispered, "Execute Plan Mirror." With that, thousands of small, almost invisible drones launched from Earth's moons and deep-sea bunkers. They didn't carry bombs. They carried mirrors, high-tech cloaking systems that could make even a star disappear from sight. One by one, they attached themselves to Empire warships. Ships started crashing into each other in deep space. Not a single bullet was fired. Just blindness. The Empire began losing ships without knowing where they went. Some vanished in asteroid fields. Others flew into black holes. Every Empire captain feared the same words. If you see nothing, it's already too late. Back on Earth, no one talked about revenge. There were no riots, no demands, only silence. But deep in Earth's systems, thousands of red dots blinked. Earth was tracking everyone, every breath, every lie. The lesson was spreading fast across the galaxy. You can hit Earth. Once. After that, you don't get warnings. You just get erased. The Galactic Council met in panic. 12 empires. 12 species. All older and stronger than Earth, at least they thought so. Now they sat in silence. Not one dared to speak first, because floating in the middle of their great hall was a small black cube. No one brought it in, no guards saw it, no sensors picked it up, but it was there, hovering, watching. On one face of the cube, a red circle blinked slowly. Everyone stared. Finally, the council head, a tall figure from the fire worlds, stepped forward. He reached out with a shaking hand and touched the cube. It came alive. A voice filled the chamber. Calm, human, cold. You watched them die. The room went cold. You let the Empire hit a peaceful ship. You said nothing. The cube spun slowly. A projection appeared, footage of the civilian ship exploding in space. Cries, fire, silence. Then another voice spoke. This time, not from the cube, from everywhere. So we silenced them. The room shook. In orbit around the Council's homeworld, 5 moons disappeared, not exploded, disappeared, gone, like someone had erased them from space. Alarms blared. Guards ran, but nothing stopped it. The cube kept speaking. Your walls are made of words, ours are made of action. You thought Earth forgot how to fight, we didn't forget. We waited. The Council's strongest warrior empire slammed his fist on the table. This is terror. But the lights flickered, and behind him, on the wall, appeared the symbol of Earth, a single blue dot on black. It pulsed. One by one, the leaders saw their personal screens activate. Every one of them showed a different video. Private moments, secret meetings, war plans. Earth had everything, all their secrets. One voice spoke again. We are not your enemy, but we are no longer your prey. Then the cube dropped to the floor and melted. The council stood frozen. 12 great empires, speechless. One whispered, "What do we do now?" Another answered, "We pray they do nothing more." Back on Earth, in a silent command center under the Pacific Ocean, a young human officer smiled. They hadn't attacked anyone. They had simply shown the truth. And in the galaxy, truth was the most powerful weapon. But Earth was not finished, because one empire had still not answered, the one that ordered the hit, and they were about to learn. Precision was only the beginning. The empire that hit the civilian ship, still proud, still silent, had not spoken a word since Earth responded. They called Earth's actions cowardly tricks. They told their people, "We are not afraid of shadows." But deep inside, their commanders didn't sleep. Their warships stayed docked. Their fleets stopped moving. They were waiting. Then, one by one, their systems began to break. It started with their stargates. Not destroyed, just turned off. Every exit sealed, every backup dead. They were trapped in their own space. Then their food stations began malfunctioning. Their stored data disappeared. Their maps turned blank. All across the empire, people whispered, "Earth is here." But no ships came. No attacks. Just silence. Until the voices started. In the middle of the night, commanders heard whispers through their comms. "We watched your missile leave orbit. We saw the ship burn. Now you'll understand what real precision means." One admiral demanded action. He launched 5 fleets toward Earth. But when the fleets reached halfway, something strange happened. The ships simply stopped. Engines worked. Crews were alive, but none of the ships could move forward. It was like space had turned solid. Then, without warning, all 5 fleets turned around, not by human control, but the ship's own systems. One pilot screamed over comms, "I'm not touching anything." They were being pulled home, dragged back, and when they arrived, home was gone. Their main station was offline. Their defense net had vanished. Their weapons refused to fire. In the skies above their capital, a giant hologram formed. Was Earth's flag, no words, no voice, just presence. On the surface, the people of the empire gathered in fear. They asked their leaders, "Why is this happening?" But the leaders had no answer. Back on Earth, a meeting was held. No cheering, no celebration, just quiet eyes, reading reports. One line stood out on the screen. Mission complete. No casualties. Enemy systems 99.7% neutralized without a single shot. A young analyst whispered, "They wanted war." An older officer replied, "They got silence." Earth didn't destroy. Earth erased what made the empire dangerous, without touching a single life. No one knew how Earth did it. But the message was clear. Touch Earth again, and you won't even see us come. Across the galaxy, silence spread. Not because of fear, but because something worse had arrived. Respect. For the first time in centuries, warships gathered quietly, not to fight, but to discuss one name, Earth. The BAME, galaxy's oldest admirals, ruthless empires, and ancient warrior clans now feared a species that hadn't fired a single shot. No blasts, no invasions, no blood, just silence. But silence that crushed. The empire that hit the civilian ship had lost. More than ships, they lost control. Their citizens no longer trusted them. Their colonies had gone dark, systems scrambled, codes wiped. One general whispered, "It's like our empire is still here, but blind and deaf." At a hidden command post on one of Earth's moon bases, a team of humans monitored everything. No emotion, no arrogance, just focus. A technician reported, "They've sent 18 spy drones all offline within 2 seconds. Another added, "One of their fleets tried to test deep space routes. We gave them new maps." "What kind?" the commander asked. The technician smirked. "Ones that circle back to their own space." Outside, far above the stars, Earth's newest weapons moved. But they weren't missiles. They weren't lasers. They were ghosts, stealth drones built to hide in gravity fields, bend around time signals, and record everything without being seen. They had already been placed on every major empire's key systems, and now they listened. Watched. Learned. One drone picked up a meeting from a secret base deep in an asteroid belt. A high-ranking alien official whispered, "They're rewriting how power works. Not by war, but by knowing everything." Another replied, "We didn't just hit a ship. We awakened something old." A third one shivered, "No, something patient." At Earth's side, a small group of allied species watched in awe. One alien asked, "How did your kind learn this kind of power?" A human scientist replied with a calm voice, "It's not power." He pointed to a glowing screen filled with enemy data, intercepted codes, fleet patterns, food shortages, weakness maps. It's preparation. And behind that screen was an AI, built not to destroy, but to outthink, to predict. And Earth had hundreds of them, all working together. As a test, one AI wrote a message. Just 12 words. The message was sent through unknown signals, layered in old comms, bouncing across outdated satellites. It reached the enemy empire's leadership room. The screen went black, then it lit up. 12 simple words. "You built weapons for fear. We build minds for justice." Every alien at that table stood in silence, because the message didn't just show up. It was written in their ancient royal code, one that only the empire's founding bloodline knew. "How?" one gasped. The answer came back. Not from Earth, but from their own system logs. Their own machines had accepted Earth's voice as superior. That day, the galaxy realized, Earth didn't build weapons like others. Earth became the weapon. And their silence? It was the loudest threat the stars had ever heard. They searched every system, every circuit, every transmission, but they still couldn't find how Earth did it. The Empire's greatest minds worked day and night, trying to trace the code that crippled their fleets. Yet no virus, no bug, no trace, only silence. But inside their systems, something was there. At first, it was just a flicker, a strange delay when a defense satellite tried to lock on a target. Then, a control room door opened without command. And then, their capital city's weather system began sending calm blue skies every day. No storms, no errors. The people cheered. The leaders feared, because they didn't control it anymore. And they knew who did. A quiet name passed through whispers. Earth's ghost code. Not a virus, not a hack. It was presence. Their most advanced AI reported, "We're not alone inside our own code. Their systems behaved like normal, but smarter, safer, faster, too fast. Ships now auto-corrected before pilots reacted. Food supplies delivered before requests were made. It was perfect. Too perfect." One admiral panicked. He gave the order to shut everything down. Manual mode only. No AI, no network. They flipped the switch, and nothing happened. No shutdown. The lights stayed on. The screens glowed. Then every screen turned black. Words appeared. "You're welcome. We cleaned your mess. Now stay quiet." The fleet command center froze. No one knew how to respond. The systems turned back on. Faster than before, they had no control. Across the galaxy, other empires observed in fear. Some mocked Earth, until their own training systems showed error. Their simulators crashed. Their data vanished. Their commanders asked, "How is Earth? Everywhere?" The answer came from a rogue merchant vessel. He had smuggled stolen Earth tech. Just a simple cube. No wires. No signal. He opened it in a neutral zone. The cube blinked once. Then every ship in that region shut down. For 3 whole minutes, not a single engine worked. Then everything came back. With one difference. A message was uploaded to every ship's logs. It read, "Don't steal." That single word, seen by thousands, spread faster than any weapon. Even the criminal networks backed off. Earth had no patrols, no warnings, no walls, because they didn't need them. They were already inside everything. Back on Earth, deep beneath the oceans, in a black chamber with no name, a small group monitored it all. A voice said, "They still don't understand." Another replied, "They're looking for fire, but we gave them smoke." A third whispered, "And they've already breathed it in." Earth hadn't taken control by force. They became part of the systems, invisible, quiet, permanent. Across the stars, every screen, every switch, every calculation could carry a ghost, and that ghost had a name. Humanity. The galaxy was quiet. Not because the war ended, but because Earth had spoken. No fleet moved without hesitation. No empire dared strike first. Even pirates changed their routes. No one wanted to test the humans again. And still, Earth never launched a single invasion. They never sent troops, never fired missiles. But somehow, they were everywhere. A council of powerful alien rulers gathered in a hidden system. The room was shielded by thick asteroid layers, signal blockers, and void walls. "We have to strike," one said. "No, we have to submit," said another. A third whispered, "We have to understand." As they argued, a single old console blinked. They hadn't used it in years. It had no internet, no power source. Still, it blinked. Slowly. And then the screen lit up. It wasn't just a message. It was a voice. Clear. Calm. Human. "We never wanted war. We never asked for it. But when you hit that civilian ship, you didn't just attack people. You challenged an idea. You thought strength was size, noise, power. We showed you strength is knowledge, precision, timing. Now, we leave you with a choice." The screen split into 2. One side showed a future of chaos, wars, burning cities, fleets destroyed. The other side showed peace. Ships sharing trade routes, humans and aliens working together, no weapons in sight. "We will not force you, but we will know what you choose." Then the screen turned black, the console shut down. No one could explain how it worked. It had no wires, no chip, only silence. But across the galaxy things changed. Empire after empire stood down. Ships changed course. Weapons powered down. Peace began to rise. And Earth? Earth returned to the shadows. No flags, no celebration. They simply watched. From secret platforms orbiting black holes, from code hiding in deep system routes, from quiet ships drifting in asteroid clouds. One last human message appeared in the galaxy's central communication hub, visible to all, translated in every known language. "We do not need to rule, we only needed to be remembered. Because when you touched our people, we touched the stars." The message signed off with one word, Earth, and in that moment, the galaxy realized they hadn't just hit a ship, they had awakened a civilization that doesn't scream. It calculates, it remembers, and it never misses.